And I remember, I would just to shake, my body. I feel like, okay, I know I won't be, but I want to go right now. And at that moment, I said, no, I can't do this. It was so nervous, and it's adrenaline. You see, and for months, I used to have that feeling. But when it was done, the party, I feel like I did it. I feel amazing. I feel like I have a superpower.
When being an entrepreneur isn't a choice, but the only choice. When you're trying to be what other people want you to be, but you have to be true to yourself. Like, you have to be creative. You have to be an entrepreneur. That's what we dive into on this episode. And I'm Maverick Lyles.
And I'm Toby Lyles.
Yes. And this is the Voices on the Wind podcast.
Yeah, today we talked to Cecilia Villar-Baldera and just had a great time with that. Don't forget our newsletter at votw.substack.com. And this is Cecilia of Alpaca Globo.
What happened, I feel in life, is like everything was so clear as a kid. And I wonder if all people come to this world with that feeling that I got this. It's so simple and easy, and just be happy. But people already in this world, maybe after you, think they don't want to make sure you suffer in life. This is not the way. You have to be more realistic. So you need things as an education, a career, a job. And they do it of the love. They feel fear of what it could happen with me, because I was very just a happy person, like just only, not having what is the word? I was not with fear, So right now it's easy for me to look back and see all the process, but even hard moments to thinking, okay, my parents are the people I trust, and the same with my family, they do it for the love so I better trust. And I feel it was a good idea, study, career, and be more serious. But the other ones it wasn't myself. So I kind of trying to go into a balance, and I had to be honest. And that was some part of my life. I think it's good, but it wasn't easy to confront my family, my parents, and tell them it's been a lie. This is not me. I'm not that smart or intelligent that you're going to feel that this proud. But because I did that, then things were much easier, because I feel I studied photography. That kind of helped me a lot. Even that didn't have as a job, it helped me a lot with even math, even all the career engineer that I was studying helped me to kind of when I see balloons and the way I build, things. So it wasn't for a bad reason. Or whatever happens, the process is great. And it's still, for me, feel like it's amazing. I'm in a dream. And I'm so happy so lucky, because I found this job. Nobody takes this job, balloon twisting. Be in front of people on the street with a crazy balloon hat, a lot of balloons. And people are so nice here and welcome. And I think they always like when I'm making a balloon, but they don't do it. If it's something you can do it, because it's probably, for them, they have a little wall. This is the limit. You cannot really do this in front of people, what they're going to think or they're going to laugh. That part, you see, I don't have it anymore. I don't care.
Did you have it before?
I just enjoy it.
Did you have
before,
a wall?
Yeah, before confront my parents.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest part for me, imagine my mentality at that time. Even when I met my husband, and he from United States, he was studying movie filmmaking. That was already for me like, wow, this is something my parents never would let me study, or something to tell and study something like that. So meet him and falling in love of that he was capable of do those things. I feel like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going back to where I'm going to tell my parents, that's it. This career is not for me. I want to stay. But it wasn't filmmaking there. It was photography, so I went with that. Later in life, when I came to United States, and it was a moment again of a stop in my life, because I don't have a job. Yeah. I don't have an activity. Well, my activity was pretty much taking care of my kids, because I came already with my kids little.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of time in the silence. So it's a perfect moment. You can hear yourself and, and start again this process of having my kids little. I kind of more go into my little inner me and remember what I wanted. I was there. They were my audience. So I was able to entertain them, making again balloons. And we kind of, when that happened, my parents weren't there because I came to here without my parents to United States.
Okay.
And there wasn't any other person telling me no. I was the adult. And I was doing what I like for my kids, entertaining all the time with balloons or with just, me being silly. So I was like, and they couldn't stop it, because nobody was there to tell me no. And it was just growing and growing that even my family were a little bit scared.
Really?
Yeah, because when I started twisting balloons, I couldn't stop. It was something that I was possessed, So I'm talking about hours, 6, 7 hours. Cecilia, time to eat. For example, when I visit my family in Peru, I was there also visiting, but making balloons.
Okay.
Nobody hires me. Nobody have a job. I didn't even thought this is going to be as my job. Okay. It was something that's maybe a hobby, and it sounds bad, but I was thinking this might be an addiction because even that my parents say, Cecilia, you're wasting your time. People close that. I know it's not because they don't love me. It's the opposite, but because of fear of what this is happening to Cecilia, that you cannot stop doing something. I was so much time sitting, twisting balloons, that I have start problems, like just because sitting too much in one place.
Really?
So stuff like that. So I had to put a balance because I know it wasn't healthy. So it's good to have also, for example, my husband, in some ways, okay, you like this so much. He doesn't want to stop what I'm doing, but also maybe this can be something you do as a job.
Okay.
And that's what made me think, okay, but I cannot imagine do this in front of people. It was something pretty much I was doing alone and in my own space. And then when I came here to live, I didn't have a job, but I have 2 kids. So I came with my 2 little kids. And while my husband go to work, I was, having them and you see kids, that was kind of the beginning again. You entertain your kids. You have spent time with them. So I spent it with the things I know how to do, balloons and, they were, that was kind of the beginning because when it was a birthday party in my culture, but I know here too, you do a celebration, in balloons. It's the cheapest thing you can buy to make it look so, like party time. So I bought a lot of balloons. A lot of balloons because it's decorate the whole house. That was kind of like the night before. So when they're asleep and they wake up, they see balloons everywhere. And when the parents of the other kids come to the birthday party, they like it and they invite me to do this for their kids.
Oh, okay.
And so from one event came the next one and the next one. And it was all, I used to just do it for free. Never thought, how are you going to do this as a business? And that's the hard part. When you love what you do, to consider someone's going to pay for that, at least for me, it was hard to put a price.
Yeah.
But people that love you and know probably, okay, Cecilia needs help. Let's help me to start, a business and create my business card and put a price. And
so what did that look like? I mean, you had to, for somebody's party, actually charge them. Do you remember that day?
Yeah. And I remember, I would used to shake, my body. I feel like, okay, I know I won't be, but I want to go right now. And at that moment, I said, no, I can't do this. It was so nervous, and it's adrenaline. You see, and for months, I used to have that feeling. But then when it was done, the party, I feel like I did it. I feel amazing. I feel like I have a superpower. and so it was a process, but I still remember, I used to be sweating but cold, that feeling, that nervousness. But in the moment, I was so happy. So it's like that feeling when people are going to perform in a concert and they have the adrenaline to, show the music, and then they feel so good. So I feel that kind of feeling, but always hard to start, knocking the door, and have everything. and then dealing with people I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know because they just start coming people that you don't know. That I don't even know, anybody there. But and this is interesting. But I didn't even have my license here when I came to drive. So I remember, my husband or someone else drove me. Okay, we'll see you. He's like, no, don't leave. I was like, and I'm lucky. My husband never say, okay, Cecilia, you're gonna work. You're gonna bring money to the house.
Yeah.
No. Now he's so happy because he's helping a lot the house and the family. But at the beginning, I remember I was so scared to all the balloons. I was just doing it for fun. He said, "But Cecilia, we have to give it to people. Well, we're gonna do this." It's like I don't know, but if they say no, I was so scared, thinking they're gonna reject these balloons. And we just used to take the kids to the park, so we all have a good time. And then my husband started giving the balloons because I was afraid that people is gonna say no to me.
Really?
But it made me so happy to see the kids that they take the balloons.
Okay.
So you
So
see,
your husband helped quite a bit. So you just moved
Yeah.
to America, right?
Yes.
And you started going on Facebook saying, I'm a professional balloon twister?
Yes. But America, United States, I went first to California, where my husband has, his parents and family. But when we decided to look for a better opportunities for his job as a teacher, we found Cheyenne, Wyoming. The first time I heard Cheyenne, Wyoming in my life. And so I was looking on, thinking, okay, I know I can make balloons. So let's see this town. And I start going to Facebook groups about the community. And I just introduced myself. But at that time, I feel more confident. But exactly not even that much, but it's still better than
That's
before.
a lot of confidence, though.
Yeah. Yeah, like I write, hello, my name is Cecilia, I'm a balloon twister, and I'm soon going to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Did you have a business in California doing balloon twisting?
Yes.
Okay.
And already have a name, Alpaca Globo. So when I came to Cheyenne, we didn't know anybody. And I don't know how much Facebook really worked. I just leave the messages there. It was just because we went to the Paramount Cafe here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, the first day, to have coffee with my kids, because they were doing open mics. And my family, they're musicians. My kids, they perform singing, and I film, to them. But then I make balloons. You see, at that time, I feel, okay, I make balloons, and I give it to people. And I make a coffee cup, a big coffee cup, because it's in a cafe, and I leave it there. And next day, an artist here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, saw the coffee cup and wondered who made this. And they told her, oh, yeah, yesterday was a balloon lady here. It's just new in town. She contacted me, and she invited me to one of the art walks, work arts that is during the weekend, I think. Yep. And she told me if you would like it, And I said, sure. And you see, at that time, I was already more flexible. Yes. I don't know what it's going to be. I just say yes. Yeah. I don't know. Just optimistic. Very good attitude. Because there's nothing wrong. What wrong could happen? It's just yes. And let's see, that. And her name is Georgia Roswell. You know her?
Yeah, we interviewed her.
Georgia. It's I think she's like my godmother here. Because she invited me to have in her studio and decorate it with balloons. So, and I told her, I don't know exactly. And she directed me in some way, like, look, Cecilia, your favorite things, what would you like? And so I make a lot of, big hearts and then we're talking things, something that will call attention. And I was thinking about the sofa, because the idea of people could sit on and have the experience. So a balloon sofa, and I make a balloon sofa. And people, just go there to sit and see that they don't break. It's balloons, but how they don't break is pyramids. Okay. And that's the strongest shape. And, so that's kind of something fun. And she took me to the TV to invite people about this art walk. And that's how I started. I went to Channel 5 in the morning for the news, and I make a mini-me of the person. And it was that connection. That same day, it was 6 a.m., I think, the news. F.E. Warren, the military base, contacted me for their coming event. Okay. And I was like, wow. And they told me, yeah, we saw the news. And I'm like, really? You saw? So I didn't know. I never watch news here, or I don't have the TV to watch the news. So, and then also the library here. And so from day one, pretty much, I have them as my clients.
Okay.
And that's, you see, I'm so fortunate, so happy. But one thing I can say is the good attitude and be optimistic. It's nothing bad that could happen. I have it for sure. Just, be yourself and show what you can do. And so it's been great since that time. You see, Georgia, she have now grandchildren here in Cheyenne. I do their kids' birthday party, the grandchildren, every year, because in some way, they kind of became that family. You see, because for moments, it was a couple months, I was here alone. No, without my husband, without my kids. They were into Peru, and I was like, no, I'm making balloons here. I love it. And I connect with Georgia more. So it was very, very beautiful because she told me more about, the community. So, yeah, that's great, Georgia. I have to see that interview. Then with her husband, we did this parade one time.
Okay.
With the husband, Dave Roswell. He used to be an art teacher at East High School. So we did a parade for all the art class. And I teach them how to make balloon animals. And we were having lots of balloons already, candy canes, for the parade, Thanksgiving parade. And we were giving it, and we all were wearing balloon masks of elves. And it was an amazing, but it was freezing. So it was so cold, that parade. And we made a logo of the bird of the East High School. And it was an amazing experience because even that it was so cold, I was there happy walking the whole, parade, making balloons. But I know it was cold because the balloons were freezing. They were frozen. So you couldn't even twist much. But that was a really nice experience. The same with Harvey, you see. And people probably you interview here that have their business, and you see when they talk about the community. It's something I learned here in Cheyenne. Because in California, it wasn't that close, that big community that it's here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I love it. Also the kids, and everything for me was surprising. Like, this is an amazing town. The people is so nice and welcome. I never feel the rejection that I was afraid before. Remember, I always think, no, if people say no. When I came here already with this attitude that I learned, people, always been very nice. Most of the people I make balloons has been since I moved here 12 years ago. Like Harvey, Laramie County Fair. As soon as it started, they contact me, and it's been every year. So something that it wasn't as a, you can think permanent job, it became pretty much because activities like Christmas and Thanksgiving, all the big celebrations, things, there is events. And I do it, so it keeps me busy the whole year. And on top of people that celebrate birthdays.
Well, this is really fun. Was there anything that we missed on your story?
It's still happening, the story, and I'm super happy that it's going great. I'm very, very happy because when doing balloon twisting, you see, it's a job, my full-time job, but give me time to myself. So I have a lot of time again for myself, and that is really good and healthy. You see, like during pandemic, a lot of people was chaos, right? Like, because finally you have time for yourself. A lot of, for me it was perfect. Even that I didn't have much job as a balloon twister, but give me the chance to start my own YouTube channel and my own time to, okay, let's share balloon twisting. There's other ways to keep twisting. No matter what, I twist balloons every day. So it's not just a job, it's a passion or something I just love to do.
What did you name it? Because your family has an alpaca. Is it alpaca wool?
No,
Well,
they
where
sell
does
different
alpaca
type
come
of
in?
wool. Alpaca, because in Peru, we have, I think that's where alpacas came from. If it's not between Bolivia and Peru, we have the whole Andes, and alpacas, they love that type of altitude and the plants that grow from there, they call ichu, but that's what they eat. Now, the amazing thing is, here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, there's alpacas, lots of alpacas, because they're happy. It's altitude, it's a cold weather, they love it.
Okay.
And so now people in Cheyenne kind of are familiarized with alpaca.
Okay.
But it came because you see the alpacas, when they laugh, you see the silly teeth in the front. And that is already just looking at them, are cute because they have big eyes and the teeth, like this. they're cute and silly and funny, and so that's great, because my job is to be silly, to be just, me in front of people, and it's a great thing for me. And then cows, music, balloons, get me, pig, and then I have my time, quiet, super, super silence, classic music, a moment to create. I create every day. I keep it as a routine. So every day I create a design.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to share it. Because a lot of the things I learned started also that way. Free on YouTube. So I decide to do the same later.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel with what is my job. I really would love in Cheyenne or anywhere people started it as a little business, and maybe this can make them happy, but I don't know.
Being an entrepreneur is, the more stories I've seen, the more and more I've realized that it is kind of not really a choice. Like, I mean, it is, but it isn't. I feel like there are more entrepreneurs out there than exist. Like, there are more entrepreneurs than there are businesses. That entrepreneur businesses, small businesses. Because I feel like being an entrepreneur, at least what I've seen, calls to is being true to oneself and being willing to chase you, to take a bet on you. And so seeing her do that and kind of really word well what that experience is, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's well said. We'll just leave it at that. She followed who she was, and therefore she is. Therefore she is.
Therefore she
an
is.
entrepreneur. And may we all follow ourselves and be true. So, till then, my friends, happy sailing.
Nice. We did it.